Zoom room and bring on a couple bar owners here as the governor at Friday after lunch press conference. Kind of, I mean, I don't know. We'll find out if it was out of left field, but we saw her make the call at Saturday, 6 p.m. Bars on a 2-week timeout, and so we figured, hey, this decision impacts the bar owners. Let's get a couple on. So. We have from Jeff's Pirates Cove, obviously, Jeff. Good morning, matey. Hi.
Good morning, everybody. Hi, Jason.
And we have Rhonda from Porky's, the Porky's family. So I guess we'll just say, first of all, did you guys have any clue that the governor was going to announce a 2-week closure for bars on Friday afternoon?
No.
I just heard it a day ahead of time that it was going to happen, and I think it could have been done at closing the next day, not at 6 p.m. So at least give some people one more day of business, but it's not my call.
Right. Rhonda, what was your initial reaction when you heard this announcement as it happened?
Devastated. Devastated, pretty much. And by the way, I'm not the owner. I'm only the manager.
Okay. Well, you just got promoted. You're the owner now.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Nice. I'll let Steve know.
Yeah, let Steve know.
Just devastated. I mean, we just got back to work. We're only at 50% capacity, but we're making it work. We're happy to be open. We still have to pay rent no matter what. So I'm wondering why the bars are being targeted. Like, why are we the only ones that are going to shut down? That's what doesn't make any sense to me.
Rhonda, has public health at any point ever made a visit to your establishment to observe whether or not you guys are obeying the said protocols?
Yes, we passed.
Okay.
What about you, Jeff? Has public health...
Public health has been undermanned for like 30 years. Previously, we had 35 health inspectors that went out every month and checked their businesses and anybody with a permit. Now it's about a fifth of that. It was all politics, and it's always been needed. So public health is shorthanded. Yes, they come here and we adhere to whatever they say. Now they have stipulations that you have to have this safe serve, that they have taken not just the food in the kitchen, they're making bars like Rondalins do that. And it's pretty tough on them. Not an easy course to take, but I mean, we're all trying to adhere, but it's like, it's very difficult because you try your best to do everything to conform. You clean the tables, you have people wearing masks and everything like that. But if one employee makes a mistake and somebody sees that, next thing it's all over social media and, oh my God, and a couple of weeks ago, they were like, 3 places are having visitors from Anderson that may have it, and they publicize that. Next thing you know, we have no business for a week or two. And, this whole thing is like, it's unreal. It's very unreal.
Yeah.
How does it work for you, Jeff? Because you're also a restaurant and you also have a bar. So is the bar closed and the restaurant's open, or how does it? Yeah, I'm just not sure, because I know there are some restaurants that have bars and they're still open.
Right.
Yeah, well, you got to understand on Guam, if you're going to go into business as a bar, you should really get a food license at the same time. I don't care if it's a little hot dog machine with a sneeze guard on it. You should get permit and the license, because this is what the government wants. They want you to have more licenses, more inspection, more of their public health people employed. Everything is on licenses. So I've had this place 41 years. And in the beginning, I saw, well, gee, if I'm ever shut down in one area, I'll have to shut down the whole place. So it's hard, but I maintain different licenses, for the bar, everything, and the food. But it's a good idea to have both here because it helps you a lot. But my bar, and like you go to Outback and Porky's or anywhere, you could have people 6 feet apart. I mean, it's not that hard to do. The tables, I mean, we can do this. But these new, first they come up with this 50% restrictions, which is, it really bothers me because I'm open air. Yeah. I mean, you can walk out to a picnic table, you can go down the beach, you're not within 20 feet of anybody, but I'm clumped under the same problem that everybody else has, and that is this distancing. And
Right.
it's crazy.
How about you, Rhonda? Do you guys do the food, or are you just completely closed for 2 weeks?
No, we're completely closed. We don't have food. We don't have it on our license. So we can't operate with food because that would be in violation of our license. Our license is just for a bar.
Right.
So we actually, when we renewed our license, asked if we could start doing the food since we all have to take the Serve Save class, which is for food. It's not for limes and lemons and ice. It's for food, but we still have to have it. So we took it. We're all in compliance, but they would not let us change the license.
Well, let me ask you guys this, because I talked to some people in the COVID-19 response, and what they had told me was that the bars weren't doing a good job of policing themselves. And I'm going to put it out here, and I'm going to tell you what I heard and whether or not you guys had appropriate warning. Whether or not there was any dialogue that they said, hey, this is what we're hearing. We've seen pictures on social media. Get your act together or else. I don't know if any of that happened. But what the COVID responders are saying is that if you go on any social media, you see at the bars people from different households taking pictures all together, no mask, holding their beers, whatnot. I mean, I was sent a few examples. I saw it. How do you respond to that? Because the guidelines are interesting in that they require us to kind of segregate ourselves by household. So if you go into
Can I
a place,
respond to that?
right, yeah, no,
Can I respond
please,
to that?
of course, that's what I'm asking you. Go ahead.
Because I went to brunch yesterday, okay, brunch, and yeah, you're social distancing. They're fixing your plates, but people at your table are not from the same household. They're with your group. So how is that any different than people in bars? I just don't. It makes no sense to me. I don't understand it. I don't get it.
Right, and I mean that's what I'm saying too. Is that if we're going to enforce it on one side, then why aren't we enforcing it all across?
Agreed.
Do you also feel, Jeff, that bars are being targeted, as Rhonda was mentioning?
Sure. Any private business here is in trouble with this government. I mean, you just you complain about things like I do and see what happens in your life, okay? I'll tell you an incident here. We had a police officer show up saying that somebody complained that we weren't conforming to the rules. And, I mean, my God, maybe somebody didn't have a mask on or, who knows what, but to have the police coming here and, this is already getting out of control. How much integrity does our government have to tell us what to do? What do they do with our tax money? Waste it. I mean, we are in such a bad situation here as private business people. We are discriminated upon. We are, they're giving money to all the government employees. Do they give any money to us, to our employees? Oh, you can get unemployment. Well, gee, that's nice because all those big unemployment monies sit in the bank that belongs to the governor. So there's no rush to get rid of that stuff. I mean, everything here is very hard to deal with, but I love it here. I have no problem. I'll make it no matter what.
Let me ask you this, guys. So what about the public health component to this argument? There are those people who say that we're in the middle of a pandemic and the governor and the government has the authority to make these decisions for the sake of protecting the public from the spread of the coronavirus.
I just don't understand why shutting bars down is going to help it. You're going to shut down a handful of bars when there's 10 times more restaurants. How is that going to fix the problem? It's not going to fix the problem. People are going to have to stay home if they're sick. If you feel like you're contagious, stay home. We check temperatures as soon as you walk in the door. We check our own temperatures as soon as we walk in the door. We make sure people wear masks if they're walking around. If you're sitting down drinking your drink, fine, take it off. Not a big deal. But you have to get up and go to the bathroom, put your mask on. I mean, we're doing what we have to do. And also, I still haven't gotten my unemployment money. So, yeah, I'm going to be out of work yet again with no help. It's ridiculous.
One of the things I think in the press conference, the governor was mentioning that public health was going to go back and they were going to look at the guidelines and yada, yada, yada. Have you guys Are you guys, has public health contacted you, or do you guys feel you should be a part of that dialogue and redoing whatever they're going to redo with these guidelines? I mean, if you guys,
I'll let you take this.
Things are ever changing. You know, 1 minute to the next, you don't know what's going on, and it's living in fear that they're going to come in here and shut you down and put you out of business. And you know, I got 38 employees that I have to think about, and this whole the information flow, everything about this is so, it doesn't seem right. I mean, 5 people on Guam, they say died of this. They were sick anyways. They were predicting thousands were going to die. They were, I mean, hundreds. I mean, it's all, what has really happened here is what we need to look at. We need to look back and say, in the last 6 months, have all these horror stories come true? And is it worth shutting down all these businesses? And to take the bars and let them open and then shut them down again, that is so bad. Also, now that you have these new rules, you have to hire extra people to give sanitizer, check their temperature, clean the table. You're making us hire more people in a situation that we're making half the money because we can only do half the occupancy. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, and you know what I wanted to ask is, you guys, I think you need a seat at the table, right? I mean, it's just, to me, it's so problematic that the governor can come out and announce something that affects so many people out of the blue without talking to anybody, and then you guys are stuck holding the bag. Oh my God, we got to close tomorrow at 6. That being said, what kind of efforts are you guys going to do to get that seat at the table? Because I could just see this happening over and over again. I mean, the COVID is not going to go away until we have a vaccine, and if we put you guys on a 2-week timeout, we let you guys open again, there's another surge. I'm pretty sure you guys are going to be first on the chopping block. So what are we doing? I mean, can you do anything? Have you arranged a meeting with the governor, with public health, or is it at that point?
Well, I really don't like meetings, Jason. They, you know, don't seem crisp.
Whatever you want. I'm flattered.
To end up accomplishing much. But I do have to say that I have a lot of respect. Tom, the guy that owns Live House, and Regina, the one who owns Old Traditions, they're trying to organize business people. And this is what needs to happen on this. We need like our own political unit of bar owners and business owners to have some clout to represent ourselves and to tell what's the real story here. The Chamber of Commerce seems to be more of a political thing on Guam that doesn't really help the small businesses or the people who aren't involved in the Chamber of Commerce. And we actually need to adhere to what's needed. What about all these 35,000 employees that aren't working? I mean, you got to put them to work. How long can the government live off this money from the feds? I mean, that's the key. I want to see that money used up and see what our government of Guam is going to end up doing with all their people. And I mean, it's crazy that we just aren't helping the business people, that we have so many unemployed, and that our employees, I've been trying to keep everybody working, but it's very hard to do when you're making 43% of the income you were making last year.
Rhonda, in closing, your final thoughts.
I just wish they would have given us some heads up. I mean, if they have questions, come in and ask us. We can't help what people post on social media, but there was pictures that we posted on Instagram, which were from 2 years ago. Like, we take avid photos, and we always have at Porky's, and we post them so that customers can see themselves. It makes them feel good. They're like cared about. So we actually had somebody on Instagram kind of put us on blast about a picture and say that we weren't social distancing. And we had to tell the person that was from 2 years ago. There was no social distance back then. So, you know, I mean, just because you see it on social media doesn't mean it's happening right now.
Right.
That's true. This social media that we have now can
Make or break you. Yeah. And too often it's breaking people.
Verifies it, and then all of a sudden you've got public officials down here trying to investigate or something that already happened and probably wasn't even relevant to what's going on.
Right.
Well, we
So
think.
I know that, you know, that was the case with us. It was pictures from 2 years ago. So whatever.
Well, thanks, Jeff and Rhonda, for taking time to talk with us. Keep us posted. And
Yeah.
Hopefully
We're-
things turn around.
I mean, are we going to do a speakeasy, guys? Or are we going to open up maybe in a back alley somewhere? Or?
That's illegal. That's illegal.
And you don't talk about it.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. First rule is speakeasy. Don't speak about
Yeah.
it.
Hey, Jeff, I didn't get to say hi.
Hi, nice to see you.
But
Okay.
anyway.
Well,
Thanks, Jeff.
speaking of,
Go ahead.
Good.
there is so slack enforcement of everything here all the time anyways. It's just pretty crazy that you can have people saying, oh, we're going to enforce all these laws and you can't do this and you can't do that. But there's nobody coming to enforce it. And then it goes on social media or somebody complains, a customer or what, something like that. And now you're subject to all this scrutiny. So it's a tough world, but, you know, we'll continue to continue.
Yeah, well, keep your receipts and we'll see if we could give back 2020 next year. We'll see you guys. Thank you. Wash your
Thanks,
hands.
All right.
Wash your thumbs. 9:31. Let's keep it going in the Zoom room. We know he's got to head over to session, so we wanted to bring a Democrat Senator Clint Rigel onto the show to talk about the adult use cannabis.